the capacity to spiral into all-out world war. Of course, Ukraine and Russia are already at war. We are technically in a Cold War with China. And the Trump administration seems to be perfectly ready for that contingency. And they are certainly military and war badass posting right here from Dan Scavino. But there are different posts online that show the proximity and realities of this war in Moscow right now. The Russian capital is completely ensconced in smoke. The sky turned completely black in the middle of the day as Ukrainian drones smash into buildings, infrastructures, and oil depots and give what is a completely post-apocalyptic iconography in this kind of devastation that you're used to only seeing in Hollywood movies. This is the Wildberries logistics center. That would be the Russian version of Amazon, up in flames, I mean flammables, batteries and so on, and it's still burning. It's been like 72 hours since it was struck, and the black sky is still burning. The Russians are telling people to wear gas masks when they go outside. People complaining that their eyes are stinging, they can't breathe the air. Anyway, how is Ukraine getting all of this drone technology to suddenly turn the tides of war? Obviously, I think it's because of the CIA's help. The CIA has been running that operation in Ukraine for the extent of the war that has now been in its 5th year. And so it was. I always assumed that it was just a matter of time before Russia starts helping our enemies, right, to get back at us and stick us in the eye. Seems to be something that now is happening. Goodness gracious! I mean, this is just this footage is just, again, you're used to seeing stuff like this at a Michael Bay film, maybe, right? Roland Emmerich, okay? The action flicks of the 90s. I can't believe it's real. This is Russia, right? Anyway, something happened yesterday. Donald Trump attended the dignified transfer of 4 U.S. service members who were killed when Iran did something quite astonishing, which is they were able to get a ballistic missile directly through our THAAD missile defenses that have been able to consistently and effectively shoot down Iranian ballistic missiles. These Iranian ballistic missiles are not, 5th generation missiles. That they're dumb bombs effectively. And these new missiles are not only striking targets with extreme accuracy and precision, but they're striking American housing and containerized units, and they're doing so in a way that we've never seen before. The missiles accelerate as they're heading towards the ground, and they spiral and change trajectory, which makes them very, very hard to hit. Something happened with the Iranians. They got smarter. Donald Trump saying they're going to pay a big price for this.
They're being decimated.
Investigation as to how they were killed in Jordan.
No, they're doing that. That'll be released. You know what?
Iran targeting barracks.
I don't know. Well, they're going to pay a big price. They're going
to pay a big price. The reporter goes, Iran is targeting the barracks. Trump says they're going to pay a big price. He says he's going to open the gates of hell because Iran killed troops. And Donald Trump has certainly done that. He's been targeting Iranian nuclear power plants. He's shut down 2 Iranian nuclear power plants, a devastating number of bridges, roads, and Iran is effectively on the brink of hell right now. This is what Iran looks like after last night's strikes. But there is something, and of course you can see the total devastation and decimation of IRGC headquarters. The American Air Bridge is gone crazy all of a sudden. You can track these things and see what is happening. And the land and air bridges are being ramped up for full-scale war once again. The State Department has issued a warning to all Americans traveling abroad. And of course, we are bringing out next-gen warfare with unmanned drones, hitting naval bases, suicide drones. Everything's gone crazy. Iranian Air Defense Force and IRGC Aerospace Force has been left without operational surface-to-air missile systems in Tehran. They're unable to engage U.S. Air Force B-1 bombers, so they're just bombing the hell. We will kill you, like sort of the message from the American administration. But we're left to wonder, like, how did the Iranians become so good in such a short period of time? Obviously, this is the new CENTCOM footage that they've released. And the answer to that question is quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The answer to that question may lie with the Russians. Marco Rubio was meeting with the Russians just this morning, actually. And the reason why this is of extreme importance is because America believes that potentially the Iran strikes are facilitated by Russia. Iran strikes on CIA facilities prompt questions about possible Russian role. Oh no. Okay, what's this? U.S. investigates whether Russia provided targeting data or drone technology for Iranian strikes on the CIA facilities, citing attacks, apparent precision, and possible evidence of Moscow's involvement because they know where the CIA facilities are, right? And of course, there are CIA facilities all throughout the Gulf here, but they're hidden, and they would be known perhaps to Russian intelligence agencies, but potentially not to the Iranians. So is Russia helping out? Iranian drone attacks on CIA facilities in the Gulf have prompted U.S. intelligence analysts to investigate whether Russia is assisting in providing targeting information, advanced drone technology, says four people familiar with the U.S. intelligence. These people spoke with the condition of anonymity to discuss national security matters. U.S. intelligence officials have not yet reached firm conclusions about possible Russian involvement in attacks on CIA facilities. They cited the strike's effectiveness and apparent precision, as well as Russia's broader technical support for Iran as possible evidence. Why? U.S. intelligence agencies investigating. U.S. intelligence, no final conclusion has been made according to Reuters. Iranian drone attacks to facilities in Saudi Arabia and Iraq. One Western intelligence agency suggests that Russia is helping to improve the accuracy of the Shahed drones, including through transfers of navigation technologies. Oof. Iranian drone attacks have become very sophisticated and have improved dramatically. And this increasing worry of the U.S. decision makers that Russia is supplying Iran with targeting data, infrastructure, and covert sites in the Middle East. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met counterpart Sergei Lavrov. The entire meeting lasted just a few minutes, actually. Go ahead and check. This is the press.
Mr. Rubio, will you ask the Foreign Minister today about Russia helping to target U.S. troops? Is Russia helping Iran target Americans?
Ms. Lavrov, when will Russia start its war in Ukraine?
Once again,
Okay, thank you, press.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
speak louder.
Time to depart. Thank you, press. All right, guys, let's go. Come on.
So Marco Rubio just sits there and kind of smiles and doesn't say anything. I don't know. Does that say everything? In Washington, they say Russia and China supply the weapons to Iran. Lavrov saying this is a fiction. It's embarrassing. U.S. supplies weapons to Ukraine, so they are direct participants of the Ukrainian attack and facilities in Russia. Yeah, this is what we've been saying. Marco Rubio being asked about how the meeting went.
Can you please clarify what those proposals are and how relevant are they today?
Yeah, I mean, there was no, proposals, we know they've been reported about it. They call it 3+2, the trading and terror, but those failed. You can't have a peace deal unless both sides agree to it, and the Ukrainians would not agree to it. And so that's why that effort didn't work. So we'll have to find new suggestions and new ideas, because certainly that one, it was not acceptable to Ukraine at the time, and I don't think it's acceptable to them now either. In fact, it's probably less acceptable to them. So, when peace comes, it'll be because of some new idea and some.
So Marco Rubio saying we need new ideas here. Brief meeting. Lavrov says we want to return to the Anchorage agreements when they met in Alaska, and Rubio saying the Anchorage talks failed. But they say it's extremely productive negotiation. So I don't know. But I guess it's important, right? If we're going into war with Russia again, we're joining that war. Have we already joined the war? Has Russia already joined the war? Let me know what you think in the comments. Important update.